Hey everyone, this is PM Sport Talk, the father and son duo podcast. I'm your host Preston, alongside my father Mike and dad. How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. I would have said it was a great weekend of sports, but I'm not so sure it was. But we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll start right off with the big event, the last NFL game from this season, the Super Bowl. Wasn't exactly the most entertaining game. However, the team from this matchup that most people picked to win did indeed win the Super Bowl. That would be the Seattle Seahawks taking it to the Patriots 29-13.
Yeah, pretty much right from the get-go, pretty much dominated the game. Patriots just could not do anything offensively. Their defense played good for quite a bit of the game. Just got tired, I think, towards the end. But, the Patriots, I really thought this would have been a competitive game. I really expected Seattle to win, but I thought the Patriots would keep it kind of close, and I didn't think May would be this bad. And, there was reports about him getting shot up before the game for his shoulder and stuff and all that. And that could have affected him, but, the old adage, you can't say you're hurt if you play the game. If you're hurt, don't play the game. If you play the game, you're not hurt. So you can't use that as an excuse. He just looked like a rookie last night, and his offensive line was horrible. Campbell on the left side was just absolutely brutal.
And it's kind of been the way with him for these entire playoffs.
Yeah.
They've had success, but against great pass rushers, he hasn't been good.
No, he's been brutal, and then he you might not care about this, but I get interested in these things. He skipped the speaking to the media at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just ducked out. I can't stand it when the athletes do that. I'm not saying this guy's a diva. I don't know him. I've never heard him talk before. Offensive linemen usually aren't divas. He probably was just embarrassed about his play. But you're a professional athlete. You're getting paid millions and millions of dollars. Go up there, answer a few questions for 5 minutes, and be done. You got to be held accountable. You didn't play good. Just admit you didn't play good and, move on. To duck the media, I just can't stand it when they do that. Like I said, they're getting paid millions of dollars. Fans want to hear what you have to say. People want to hear what you have to say, your perspective on how things went. And, I just can't stand that. But besides that, the Patriots had probably one of the easiest rides ever to get to a Super Bowl. And it showed last night that they really probably didn't belong in this game. I'm not so sure they even get here if Bo Nix plays. And, their schedule all season long was the easiest schedule I heard today since the 99 Rams, who also won the Super Bowl. It's the easiest, they had a last place schedule. And, their defense was good. But, offensively, May has been a turnover machine, and he did again last night. And blame it on the offensive line, blame it on him. But, they really, they're probably like the sixth or seventh best team in the league, if you really get down to it. You got like 4 or 5 teams in the NFC that are better than them. Denver's better than them if Knicks plays. So I'm not so sure Buffalo isn't better than them too, when you get down to it. So Jacksonville, any of those teams.
Yeah.
So they had an easy schedule, got the the 2 seed, and had some luck in the playoffs. And unfortunately for us watching, it all came to fruition last night on in a snooze fest of a game where they couldn't do anything offensively. And the result is what it is, 29-7.
Yeah. I don't know if you were paying close attention to who was making the plays, but if the Patriots don't have Christian Gonzalez, this game is probably 40-0.
Yeah.
He saved 3 touchdowns alone He played an outstanding game. It's too bad that he was playing pretty much a 1 versus 11, 1 versus 22 out there. Uh,
Yeah, he played awesome.
I I just like it amazed me the plays he was making, and nobody else on the team really showed up. Drake May was making horrible decisions. That one interception he threw to Julian Love was just I'm not sure what he was seeing there.
Just a total. I had no chance. It was
There
double
was
coverage.
no one in the area that could have caught that ball. I mean, it had the commentary. Even Collinsworth was, but he didn't even know how to break it down. That's how bad of a read it was.
Yeah, it's like and they had just scored and they got a 3-and-out from Seattle, so it's 19-7. There's still quite a bit of time left. They didn't have to rush there. They moved the ball all the way from their 4-yard line to the 40, whatever it was when he threw the interception.
Mm-hmm.
They got out of harm's way there, and he didn't have to go for that big play there. And if he just kept doing what they were doing, who knows? They could maybe they march down the field and make it an interesting game.
Yeah, that was the problem. You're right on it. He rushed, and when they didn't need to. They had a good 4 minutes when they were on that drive, I think.
Yeah, he showed that he's a second-year player and still has a lot to learn. He's a good player, but he still has long ways to go. And maybe I think that I can't remember for sure on that play, but I don't know how rushed he was on that play. But I think the pass rush all night long and the fact that his line couldn't block sped him up a lot, and he was rushing throws and probably did it there too, and was just off. And credit that Seattle defense. And
yeah, that defense is insane. Mike McDonald had him playing really good all year long. And yeah, how's it feel for 49ers fans watching these guys lift up the Lombardi in their stadium, huh?
Yeah, imagine, right? And probably the 3 best teams in the league might have been from that division. San Francisco doesn't get all those injuries, who knows? But yeah, but they deserved it. They were the best team all season, I would say, overall team. Not a lot of superstars, but overall team, they just, no real weakness on that team. Had great special teams. Punter was excellent last night. I mean, he's, pinning the Patriots deep. And, of course, you got Shaheed. And,
yeah.
That could have been worse, too, because Darnold missed a couple throws that would have been touchdowns, long throws. He just missed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, this score could have been even worse than it was. And all those field goals, if any of those would have been touchdowns, the game would have been even over quicker than it was.
Yeah.
And just dominant. You look at the yards and you're like, oh, it's pretty close. No, it wasn't. Those New England yards were late in the game.
Garbage
time.
Yep.
And the time of possession was Seattle, and the turnovers was Seattle's favor, and the rushing yards, all Seattle's favor. And and Darnold was just okay in the game. He wasn't great. He didn't make any mistakes. Couple throws there. Couple of them that Gonzalez almost picked. I don't know how much they would have changed the game because they were, but he didn't.
He was making good reads, I feel, and then the overthrows were just they were either a big time play or an overthrow. So
yeah, and like I said, Gonzalez had to make amazing plays to stop a couple of those touchdowns.
That deep ball to Shaheed, how did he get a hand on that one? That was
I thought for sure that was
incredible. Yeah,
and then that one where he dives like across the end zone line there, just stretches out and
almost picked that
almost
one.
Picks it. I mean, that looked like a for sure touchdown, and maybe the ball was a little bit behind the receiver, but still, it wasn't a bad throw.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
You could make the argument he was the best player on the field for both teams. That's how good he was.
It's not even crazy to say. Yeah, he was playing pretty good. He was keeping New England's defense from giving up big time touchdowns, that sort of thing. I mean, whatever matchup he got, JSN, Cooper Kupp, he made sure to lock it down. So,
You know what I thought was interesting too? You mentioned Collinsworth. And I when I was watching it in the beginning of the game, we were in the first quarter, and he was kind of saying the game's over. I don't know if you picked up on that, but he kept saying if the Patriots, if they can't do this game, he was kind of like, and I thought he was like being like way too quick with that analysis, but I gotta give him credit. He was spot on, and he was like, they can't do anything. They're not going to do anything, and he was right. And I thought maybe, geez, this is Collinsworth. What's he doing? He's kind of like telling us the game's almost already over.
yeah.
But he was picking up on how that the Patriots could not move the ball, and he didn't see them moving the ball. The rest of and he was. I gotta give him credit. Usually, I don't always agree with his analysis, but because he's over the top a lot. But he was spot on. I gotta give him credit. And yeah, I think maybe the rest of us were just wishing that wasn't the case. But the game was pretty much over in that first half.
Oh, yeah. New England never really saw themselves making this close. Yeah. Seattle wins this one, dominating in the Super Bowl. Probably the outcome a lot of fans wanted. I don't know if they wanted a blowout, though.
No, I wanted a close game. I like to see something, down the wire, but I definitely did not want the Patriots winning. I don't want them having more Super Bowls than the Steelers. They're both tied with 6. And, excuse me, and I just can't stand the Patriots. But so that being said, I saw a thing today where they were like, "Oh, should the Patriots be the AFC favorites for next year?" And I'm like, absolutely not. Not even close. How could they be?
They just proved all of the allegations that they're easy rise, the only reason they were in that game. And then they play a actual really good team, the number 1 team in the NFC. And we all saw what happened there. No. Yeah, that answer is no. The Patriots, they should. I don't even know if I have them top 3 in the favorites for the AFC.
I mean, if Buffalo gets their defense straightened out, they're going to be right there. If Denver's not going anywhere, they're going to have a healthy quarterback.
And remember, they had a bad year this year, but you can't rule out Kansas City.
No, if Mahomes is healthy, they're right there. Their defense is still good. Yeah, and then who knows with these new coaches for like Baltimore. I'm not going to throw Pittsburgh in there because I have no idea what they're going to be, but
they're a question mark.
But they beat the Patriots this year, so who knows? And the Patriots have a first place schedule. They have to play. They play the division that they play in the NFC is the NFC West. So they have to play Seattle, Rams, Niners. No, take that back. They play the NFC North, but they also play Seattle because that's the other game that they play.
Yeah,
that one game
that's Seattle. Yeah, I did see that.
They play Seattle. They play NFC North. So they play Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. Those are not going to be easy games for them. Their schedule, and they play all the first place teams in that.
So they're going to be taking on Denver again, Pittsburgh, and
Houston
or
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's see if they make the playoffs next year. Never mind.
Yeah, they might be in the wild card running.
Yeah. So, no way should they be favorites. There's too many other teams. It's too early anyway. But I just thought that was kind of funny that question was posed. I'm like, I mean, that's a pretty easy question.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So
it's definitely a little bit early to be saying that. No chance. I think that they should be even in a conversation about the number 1 AFC team next year, but still got a while to go now until next NFL season. So
yeah, you got September. So you got what, 7-8 months. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our NFL coverage for the season. We are in February, which means we are a month away from what magical month, Dad?
I believe it's March Madness.
College basketball is sort of the next big thing coming up now on our sports schedule. So, of course, we are going to take a close eye on the games that happened this past weekend. I got to say that it was a pretty good weekend of college basketball if you tuned in to any of these games.
It was absolutely. Of course, Friday night we watched the.
Let's start off there.
Yeah.
St. John's, UConn.
Yeah, big game. Top two teams in the Big East. Connecticut only had one loss and ranked number 3, I believe, in the country, or they were. St. John's, who was preseason top 5, had a kind of a very tough preseason schedule that they, kind of didn't do great against. So they're kind of slowly getting back into they're out of the top 25. Now they've won 9 in a row. They're back in there.
They're ranked like 17th now after that win.
Yeah,
so
17th.
They're climbing. That game was very close the whole way. It was every time those two teams play, it's pretty close. Everyone was really shocked that St. John's was able to pull it out. Me, not so much. I just think every time these two teams have played last year and now this year, it's just always been competitive. I don't think that was going to change. These two teams are very similar.
Yeah, and I was a little down on St. John's because they were top 5 preseason, and then the way they started the season, and but watching them lately, they have incredible depth on that team. Something that they didn't have last year, I would say.
Yeah.
And they're a better 3-point, even though their stats against UConn weren't great 3-pointer, they are a better 3-point team than last year. Got 2 guys in the middle. Ejiofor is awesome. Hopkins is he's good. He's not to the form he was before he got injured, but he's slowly getting there. And they have 3 or 4 guards that are kind of interchangeable.
Man, what a piece as well Dylan Mitchell has been from the transfer portal.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of like a point forward. They're kind of using him that way.
Think you'll see one of his plays proven that in the plays of the week, that nice crossover he had.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter, but he does everything else really well. And like I was telling you when we were watching the game, he's a former McDonald's All-American.
Right.
So this guy has talent. And he played at Cincinnati last year, I believe.
Before that, he was at Texas for 2 years. So.
Yeah, so he comes in with high accolades, and maybe so far his college career hasn't been maybe quite what you thought it would be, but he's definitely doing well for St. John's this year.
Go ahead.
No, he's like I say, he's kind of a point forward, does a little bit of everything for them, gets rebounds, assists. He's very long.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's got the size, yeah.
So defensively, he's very good too. So, he's really good. And like I said, they're very deep this year, which is
I really like how you keep making that point, because I want to highlight whoever would have thought Patino would give some good minutes to a freshman. Dylan Darling was absolutely outstanding in this game. I mean, they finally have a kid who can shoot off the bench.
Yeah, he's kind of he's not actually not a freshman, but
he's not.
No, he's a transfer. I don't know what he is. He might be a sophomore.
Maybe.
But,
okay.
He played at Idaho last year. He was like the whatever.
Oh yeah.
Whatever conference that is, he was the player of the year there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's good. He's a really good ball handler. Like I said, he can shoot. And he's very gritty, I would say. He kind of likes the big moment from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So
clearly, yeah. I mean, he had some big time shots down the stretch for this team.
Yeah. So
in this game,
he played really well. So, and then you got guys like Ian Jackson, who's uber talented. Some games he plays a lot, and some games, so this one only played 14 minutes because Darlin was playing so well towards the end of the game.
I think that, and Jackson was also picking up a bunch of fouls.
And sometimes his defense isn't great, but his offense is through the roof. They kind of pick their spots with him. They kind of go. So, but it's just the talent there. I mean, he's instant offense when he's out there, and if you watch him from the beginning of the year to now, they were kind of trying to use him as the point guard, and he's not really a point guard. He's more of a 2 guard, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think he Just kind of
I think
struggled with that.
that was a point you made a lot at the beginning of the season. This team didn't really know who the one guard was.
Yeah, so like I said, now it's been kind of Mitchell, and when Darling's out there, it's kind of like three guys. It's been Mitchell, Jackson, and Darling when he's out there. Those three guys kind of the main ball handlers, and it's kind of like game to game to see who's out there.
Yeah, and then you got shooting on this team. I know Sellers, Sannon, they both like to shoot the ball a lot. They have confidence through the roof when it comes to their outside shooting.
Yeah, so this is a different team, and I think it's taken them a while to gel, and I like where they're headed. I think they'll be a force. They're going to make the tournament.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what seeding. I mean, they're 11-1 in the Big East. They're going to make the NCAA tournament, and
Still a lot to figure out as well with the tournament.
Yeah.
The Big East tournament.
Yeah, you still got about a month to go.
Couple games. They're playing Xavier right now. So, yeah, this team is definitely looks a lot better than last year's team. I'd say last year's team had more success when you look at the record, but I don't know. There's something about this team seems more together and complete. And then we take a look at UConn's squad. They kind of have a similar squad from last year. I mean, you see, this team always has a new big that just dominates. This year it happens to be Terrace Reed Jr. I noticed at the beginning of the game, St. John's a little lost of what to do against him. He had a lot of size on Ejiofor down low.
Yeah, he was a handful, but then the second half they kind of like neutralized him. They figured it out, and yeah, they're the main guy for them right now is that Demery Jr. He's transferred, I believe, and kind of their point guard. He had a great game.
Oh yeah, Solo Ball is in there. He didn't have the greatest game. They have I think he is a freshman, Braylon Mullins.
He is,
and he can shoot.
They say he's going to be he's definitely an NBA player. He's got all the talent in the world, just putting it all together. So look out for UConn. They're always good. The rematch is in a couple. I think it's the 25th, so a couple weeks.
Pretty soon
up in Hartford. So that'll be a big rematch. But those two teams are locks for the NCAA tournament. I'm sure we'll hear from them in March.
So big time win for St. John's in a big time Big East showdown. Great game there. So now our next game happened on Saturday. That was another classic between a rivalry that needs no introduction. North Carolina and Duke in Chapel Hill ended with a game winner at the buzzer.
Yeah, it was another great game. I mean, I turned this on just because I didn't realize it was on, and I turned it on, and it was in the second half. Maybe it was around halftime. Duke was ahead by, 7, 8 points.
Yeah.
9 points consistently in that game. And then so I was like, they're just going to pull away. And kind of looked like they were going to. But then all of a sudden, Carolina gets back into it. And like you said, another classic finish in that game. I mean, with, 0.4 seconds left.
Yeah, I don't know how much you watched of this game, but I think that timeout because Duke was winning this entire game. That game winner, the three-pointer from Trimble, that was the first time they led this entire game. And I think there's a little bit of panic from Shire when UNC tied it up with Vasar, and they spent a timeout, and they had a chance to go ahead. Instead, what do? They hold the ball until the end of the shot clock, and they have Cameron Boozer, their center, kind of ISO, and he absolutely smoked the layup. I think that timeout could have been spent a little bit better. Try to find a different play because that play at that point in the game was probably not a very high success rate.
From what I've watched of that game, that seemed to be their offense. Isolate Boozer and let him go to work. That's what it seemed like to me.
And that's kind of why that's not the success rate was low with calling that play. UNC's going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been doing that the entire game. Everyone knew it would be the Cameron Boozer show for Duke, the Caleb Wilson show for North Carolina, and you go to that. I mean, I guess it's not the worst play in the world. He had a decent look. He just couldn't finish. But like I said, it was just definitely a questionable call in that timeout.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you say, that they're going to expect that. You would think they would try to get a better play than that, but I have no problem. They're going to collapse on him. You got some good players in Duke. There's got to be somebody else that would be open, right? I would think.
Right, but then that's kind of what takes it away when you're waiting till 5, 6 seconds on the shot clock to take off from the 3-point line.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. Well, it's a big win for North Carolina. Didn't think they were. I wasn't sure how good North Carolina was. I knew they were decent, but I didn't know if they were good enough to hang with Duke. But that rivalry is like, it's kind of like a Steelers-Ravens rivalry. Throw the records out.
Yeah,
they doesn't mean much. You never know who's going to win the game.
These two teams actually happen to both be ranked this year, so that's usually the case with most of their matchups. Sometimes not, though. On that game winner, I got to give a lot of credit to Dixon. I don't know how he got that pass off. I mean,
yeah, I have no idea how he saw him.
He basically stretched his arm past 3 outstretched arms of Duke defenders and placed it perfectly in Trimble's hands. I mean, I couldn't believe that when I saw that live.
Any other players shooting the ball there, they're not passing it. They're going to try and that was just, like I say, a great play by him because he knew he was probably going to get it blocked if he tried to shoot it. But, yeah, unbelievable play. He played great down the stretch, and great win for North Carolina.
The rivalry classic ends with a classic finish. Any other games that you tuned into at all that worth mentioning? I know there was that State and Illinois game.
I didn't get a chance to watch that. I think that came down to the end.
It did. Michigan State pulled it out by 3.
Overtime.
I also was not able to catch this game, but I know Illinois has that really good guard, Wagler, I think his name is.
Yep.
I don't know where he came from, but he is incredible. Tom Izzo apparently gave Jeremy Fears a ton of minutes in this game.
43 minutes.
43 minutes, and I don't know. Did you see all the stuff around him? I mean, Fears is out here dirty plays against Yaxel from Lindeborg from Michigan, and then he had that one play where he kicked a man on Minnesota where the sun does not shine. And then in the interview, Izzo was like, "Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to bench him or something. Jeremy's got to grow up a little." Was his exact words he used. Well, right here, 43 minutes.
He didn't get benched.
26 points, 15 assists. He didn't give him a reason to get benched, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there was I saw a comment about that after the game. I don't remember what they said, but Izzo was like something about giving him a second chance or something like that, and he went with that chance and ran with it. 15 assists and 26 points. That's an awesome game. Kid's super talented. He just got to smarten up.
Oh yeah, he is talented.
The problem with kids like that, I don't know if it's gonna, when they don't get benched or anything, they continue to do that stuff. So we'll see if this comes back to haunt Izzo in a big game somewhere where he, gets a bad technical or something, But,
yeah. I don't know. His brother is actually on the Pelicans. Kind of exactly like him. He's always involved in some sort of scrum or getting involved in something.
I mean, that's good. If that's good because you want guys that are, have that kind of mentality of, this is mine, I'm taking over or whatever.
Yeah.
But when you start being dirty,
you're making, that's the point I was going to make. Yeah. He's his brother's always getting into scrums. So what I see there is he's kind of got a strategy to it. He's just that type of guy who just doesn't back down from the bigger dogs.
Yeah.
But Fears, he's kind of reminding me a little bit of Grayson Allen, and I don't like that at all. Absolutely could not stand that dude at Duke. Dirty plays every week you'd hear about from him, and that's kind of what we're seeing coming up here with Jeremiah Fears, or Jeremy Fears.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to have to stay tuned and see how the rest of the season goes, but one would hope if he does something that maybe he'll get benched or not, but I don't know. When the players are that good, they don't usually get benched. And they just continue with these things, and who knows?
I'm just saying we haven't seen anything yet, but could get really ugly if this dirty plays continue with Jeremy Fears. So, with that being said, that ends college basketball talk for now. There was one thing, the trade deadline for the NBA, that there was a couple of trades worth noting, and a trade that never happened that everyone thought would. And I'm just here to say, from now on, if you hear Giannis Antetokounmpo at the trade deadline, just believe it's all smoke. It's what it is every year. He's always in trade talks. He's kind of like Myles Garrett in a way. His name's always in these trade rumors, and nothing ever happens.
Yeah, I think from what I saw, that the Milwaukee always wants too much back for him, or I don't know, but I guess they're asking too much for him. I don't know, too many draft picks, or I don't know, but
Probably
like you said,
that's the case, probably.
or maybe I think he has a no trade clause, probably, and maybe he just said no. I don't know, yeah. You and I both thought he was going to get moved.
I thought it sounded like a little bit,
but
like it was possible, but yeah.
Yeah, no. So he's stuck in Milwaukee for another year anyway.
Yeah. So he was not moved. A big move in the East. There was a swap. Darius Garland heads to the Clippers, and the Cavs meet James Harden. He is their new point guard here.
You know where I'm going with this one. I think Harden's probably has had an okay season so far, but doesn't he almost always have an okay season? And then when it comes down to the big game, he disappears as usual.
He's a playoff joker.
And that's going to happen again this year. Yes, Cleveland might get a little bit better because Garland was hurt, and Harden's an overall better player. But it's gonna. We've seen this story how many times have we seen this story? The exact same story. Where was he? He was Oklahoma City. Oh, then he goes to Houston. Then he goes to, where did he go after Houston?
Brooklyn.
Then he goes to the Clippers. Now he's going.
Oh, Philly before the.
Oh, Philly. Yeah, I forgot about Philly. Then he goes to the Clippers. Now he's going to the Cavs to ruin their postseason.
Yep.
When will teams learn? I don't know how. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and hoping it's going to have a different result. The result is always the same. And he's older now, so he's not as good as he was. And I just don't get it. I just don't. They're going to get wherever they get, second round, whatever, third round, and he's going to choke away a series. There's going to be a game 5 or a game 6 or a game 7, and he's going to be a no-show, and they're going to get beat by whoever, Knicks, Celtics, somebody, and or the Pistons.
Could be. Yeah.
So
that's like you said, that's what happens every single time with this guy. And
I just don't understand why do they keep taking chances on him?
I just think it's going to change. I don't know why, but
it's never.
Who knows? Maybe he can change it up this year, but the odds on that probably very unlikely because this guy just always drops goose egg, every time it gets to Game 7.
Yeah, I just don't see it. And good luck, Cleveland. I mean, I understand they probably weren't going anywhere the way they were, but I just don't know.
Yep.
Setting themselves up for heartbreak.
I don't recall any other trades that are really worth mentioning of big-time names being moved.
No, I don't.
I think Harden was really the star of this trade deadline.
It's been such a hard to get into NBA season.
Yeah.
Even more so. Usually I don't pay much attention to it till after football anyway, but still, this year it seems like it's even worse. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have barely touched the NBA as far as what I watch. You know, I watch football, and then at this point of the year, I get into college basketball, and then when it gets to like April times, playoff times, I'll tune into the NBA a little bit as well as hockey. But
that's about all you can do because it's the games are so hard. You don't know who's going to play. They're out load management, all that garbage. You really can't pay much attention to it till like it's almost playoff time.
Yeah, so. Completely agree there. That really is all we have for our sports talk. So let's get into the plays of the week. First play of the week comes from Super Bowl 60. Darnold looking, end zone, Barner wide open, touchdown Seattle. And the first touchdown of the Super Bowl comes in the fourth.
Finally a touchdown. And if you didn't think the game was over before that, now you do.
Oh, yeah. And just wide open here. Slips through. Good night. Coming from Super Bowl 60 again, Drake May stepping up, throwing, and intercepted right into the hands of Julian Love for Seattle.
I'd say what a play, but it was kind of an easy play for Love, wasn't it? I mean,
it was kind of like a Christmas gift right in his hands.
Earlier in the segment, we talked about this play, and I said, oh, Drake May's probably getting rushed. He didn't get rushed on this play. He stepped up in and still threw it. I don't know what he was doing there.
It's mind-baffling.
Had a chance to get back in the game, and then you throw that. It's just unbelievable.
Our last play coming from Super Bowl 60. Drake May looking and intercepted right into the hands of Uchenna Nwosu. And if it wasn't over already, the dagger into New England's hearts and souls.
What a play. Devon Witherspoon in on the quarterback. He seemed like he was in the backfield the whole game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was just a beautifully designed blitz. I mean, he's got a head of steam right through. Yep. You called it right there.
Nobody picks him up. Yeah, it was perfectly timed. Collinsworth pointed that out in the game, how it was a great blitz by Witherspoon, and yeah.
Man. Well, coming from St. John's, Yukon, Dylan Mitchell, beautiful move. I told you this would pop up.
Look at this.
Smell you later, Mullins. And the left hand on the right side. Well, coming from Yukon and St. John's again, Devery dunks all over Ejiofor.
Yeah, that was the play, and he's woofing pretty good after that.
Coming from Carolina and Duke, Dixon driving in, gets the switch on Boozer, kicks it to the corner, dribble wide open for the win. Yes, sir! North Carolina beats Duke at the buzzer.
What a play. Unbelievable. Great play, great shot. Great game.
That's the pass I was talking about. Look at all the sea of black jerseys in the paint.
I have no idea how he saw him over there. Or got, like you said, got it over there.
Incredible. And the shot, the cherry on top.
He knew it was going in.
Coming from Illinois, Michigan State, this guy's always on a highlight reel. Fears to Cohen Carr.
What a play. Unbelievable.
This guy could make the plays of the week every week if he wanted to with his dunks that he does.
Look at that, 41 dunks in the season.
And a reverse alley-oop jam.
From half court.
Oh my gosh. Well, Dad, that is the end of today's episode, but we can't go away without finishing up a few things first. So, who is your top performer and biggest disappointer from this week?
Well, my top performer is going to be, I'm going to give it to, I was going to say the whole defense for Seattle, but you know who I'm going to give it to? I'm going to give it to Devin Witherspoon. Played great in the secondary, was in the backfield, sacks, forcing fumbles, played a great game. I'm going to give it to him. And my biggest disappointment, I'm going to give it to the New England coaching staff. They didn't make any adjustments in that game. They played that game like it was the Denver game. So conservative. I just didn't like it. And I think they showed their weren't ready for the big stage either, just like May. And I'm going to give it to the coaching staff.
Those are some good picks right there. Obviously, the Super Bowl MVP was announced, but I'm going to give my top performer actually to somebody from the losing team. I'm going to give it to Christian Gonzalez. I think he deserves flowers, even though he lost. He made some great plays. He had some great defensive back reps in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was all over the place. He's a good pick.
He impressed me. And then my biggest disappointment, second-year player. It's got to go to Drake May, though. He'll take this as a learning experience, I'm sure. Just a tough game for him. Didn't make the right plays and probably just a bunch of jitters.
Yeah, good pick. Just wasn't quite ready for it.
Well, with that being said, that'll end today's episode. Once again, I'm Preston. That's my father, Mike. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
The Patriots really show us who they are. Did the Patriots show us who they really are?
We should just keep the fun in there.